to stop what you're doing and listen.
Hello and welcome to episode 48. I am MOSH, and real quickly, I want to talk about the YouTube ads again. So since I got my partnership back, I was looking around at some things, and apparently YouTube will insert ads when they feel like it if a video is long enough. So I just want to say, if you ever see an ad pop up in the middle of one of my videos, I'm not the one that placed it there. There's not an option to remove that. It's just their thing. So I don't like it. I wish I could remove it. It's not something I like, because I could be in the middle of saying something and then boom, an ad starts playing. It could be in the middle of a funny video, ad starts playing. So I don't like it, but just know that that is not me doing that. Alright, just want to get that out of the way. I've been watching a lot of crime videos lately. Police interrogations, just all these mysteries, disappearances, all that kind of stuff. I went down a massive rabbit hole on YouTube. I don't even remember how it started, but I was in it. And the police interrogations are so interesting because the people walk in there and they're not necessarily confident, the suspects, but they think they're going to get away with it. And, I didn't do it. I don't know what happened to them, yada, yada, yada. And then as time goes on, you see them slowly starting to break down until a confession comes out. I was watching one and the guy's like, I didn't do anything to her. I don't know what happened. And then the interrogator was like, are you hungry? And the guy said, yeah. So the interrogator walked out the door and brought in some McDonald's. The guy immediately confessed. All he needed was some McDonald's. McDonald's is out here solving crimes. It's really interesting hole to fall down, but it's a really sad one as well. A lot of sad cases, very disturbing things. I mean, I don't even want to say half the things I heard. There's a lot of messed up people in this world, and a lot of them were in Canada. What's up with that? I thought Canadians were all supposed to be nice. There's a lot of killers up there. There was one I watched where a guy's sister was taken into the woods by some random guy, and he thought that it was her boyfriend. But the mom called the brother and was like, hey, that's not her boyfriend. You need to go do something. And the brother had a gun, and he didn't do anything. He just watched this dude take his sister into the woods. That was it. She's dead. But the police, didn't even look into the brother. Really? If your sister is being taken away by a random person, and you have a gun, and you don't do anything, dude, that's suspicious. And then there's this other one where a guy found his brother's girlfriend hanging, and the cops actually ruled it a suicide, even though her hands and feet were bound together. Why would someone hang themselves and bind their hands and feet together? And not only that, but the guy that found her apparently worked on boats, so he knows how to tie knots. So, years later, the family of the woman, they actually dug her back up and conducted more tests and found that there was, trauma to her head, and they arrested the guy. But how it wasn't so obvious in the first place is just crazy. Some of these police forces are just so bad. The most obvious things just fly over their heads. But yeah, that's definitely a world of YouTube you can get lost in, and it's not the funnest, Like I said, it's pretty sad stuff. Anyway, let's talk about video games. So, I have the PlayStation Plus free games for December 2019. First up, Titanfall 2. The only thing standing between victory and defeat for the Frontier Militia is the perfect combination of man and machine, Titan and pilot. In Titanfall 2, an intense first-person shooter from Respawn Entertainment, you'll experience high-speed mobility as a nimble pilot who can quickly maneuver the battlefield both in distance and verticality. But when the scale of battle shifts, you'll be able to call in a hulking Titan war machine for you to pilot to turn the tide of battle. Featuring a critically acclaimed single-player campaign, players will take on the mantle of rifleman turned pilot Jack Cooper, a very generic name, who finds himself trapped behind enemy lines with BT-7274, his new Titan partner. To escape the IMC and save the day, they'll have to learn to work together and become an effective fighting unit. The skills you earn in single player also carry over to Titanfall 2's explosive multiplayer modes, where mayhem rules supreme for anyone looking to take the fight online. Yeah, I highly recommend Titanfall 2. It is a great game. Do not sleep on the single player. It's very good. I know first-person shooter single players are kind of predictable. You play the good guy, you defeat the bad guys. But there's more to it. This is one of the better first-person shooter campaigns out there, so I highly recommend it. The multiplayer is very good. So delete Apex Legends, uninstall it, download Titanfall 2, realize which game is superior, and then start begging Respawn to make Titanfall 3. Okay, great, moving on. Turn that 5-finger death punch song to 11, because next up we have Monster Energy Drink Supercross. Monster Energy Supercross, the official video game, contains official bikes, tracks, and riders of the Supercross Championship. You're also able to customize bikes and riders with numerous brands and items to design your ideal rider and face players around the world. The track editor lets you make and share your own custom creations with other players, start with a stadium of choice, and then craft away and share with the community. Titanfall 2 and Monster Energy Supercross, the official video game, will be available from December 3rd to January 6th. Also in PlayStation news on December 3rd, Tuesday, it will be 25 years of PlayStation. 25-year anniversary. And they said to join them all week on their blog to celebrate. I don't know what that means. I don't know if they're going to have deals or maybe announce some things. They're having a deal right now. It's the end of year sale. So yeah, but apparently there's no PSX this year because it usually happens in December and there's been no announcement. So I don't know what's going on with that, but maybe they'll announce the PS5 reveal because the PlayStation 4 was revealed in February of 2013 and it's December and the PS5 comes out next year. So maybe they'll announce, hey, in February we're going to show off the PS5 and here's the date. And I don't know. I don't know what a week worth of celebrations means, but stay tuned, I guess. And lastly, real quick with PlayStation, the PS5 dev kits have been showing up online, and yes, they are ugly. It's not what the PS5 is going to look like. Basically, the dev kit is just like a big bulky V. I guess it's a V because it's 5 Roman numeral thing going on, but yeah, it's not going to look like that. I hope it doesn't look like that. No. So people need to calm down thinking that's what it's going to really look like. It's not. Move on. Speaking of moving on, an important announcement about Battleborn. So apparently this news came out a couple weeks ago, but I didn't know about it, and apparently a lot of other people didn't know about it because nobody really plays this game, but I'm going to talk about it anyways. So the game Battleborn is pretty much going down. This is from 2K. It says, Battleborn has been removed from digital storefronts, and we are now in the process of gradually sunsetting the game to focus our efforts and resources on other projects. At the moment, you won't see any effect if you own a copy of the game, but there are some things you should be aware of. After February 24th, 2020, you will no longer be able to purchase premium virtual currency, known as Platinum, for use in the game. The game's servers will remain active, and the game will continue to be playable until January of 2021. You still have a whole nother year to play the game. Once servers are deactivated, Battleborn will no longer be playable. And then a couple questions and answers. Once Platinum stops being sold, can I still spend the in-game currency I already have? Yes, you can still spend any virtual currency, both Platinum and the coins you earn through gameplay, you have in your account until the game server shut down in 2021. You can still grind for it in the game too, you just won't be able to directly purchase it anymore. Also, why would anyone do that? If they're going to stop selling currency next February and you know the game is shutting down, why would you buy any more of it? Like, I'm not going to tell people what to do with their money, but if you know the game is shutting down, there are better uses for that money. Are you taking any features offline when you stop selling Platinum? Nope. Nothing else in the game will change until January 2021 when the servers go offline. Will I still be able to play Battleborn in any fashion after the servers go offline? No. Once the servers are offline in January 2021, Battleborn won't be playable in any way. So rest in peace to that game. Now on to Call of Duty. The very first season of Modern Warfare starts on December 3rd. It releases the same day on all platforms. It says it's the biggest free content drop in Call of Duty history. You get new multiplayer maps, Crash, Vacant, and Shipment. 3 maps from Call of Duty 4 brought back for Modern Warfare. They also said that Shipment will be both a standard multiplayer map and a gunfight map for the 2v2s. I also heard that they're thinking about adding in 1v1s and 3v3s to gunfight, so Shipment will be both. New ground war map called Port, new gunfight maps, Cargo, Atrium, and more. New multiplayer modes, Reinforce, Gunfight, OSP, and Infected. New special ops experiences, Bomb Squad, Grounded, Pitch Black, Just Reward, and more. And 2 new weapons, the Ram 7 and Holger 26. So that's all the free stuff people are getting, but remember there's a free version of this and a premium that you have to buy. And I have heard that in the premium version, you will get enough COD points back if you like max it out to get the next battle pass for free. So it's very identical to Fortnite, assuming you don't spend those COD points on something else. So that's December 3rd, PlayStation 25th anniversary is December 3rd, Halo Reach drops on December 3rd, Halo is back on PC, or back on, well, yeah, it's back on PC. And it'll also be on Xbox, Halo Reach again for the Master Chief Collection, that's what I will be playing. And again, that is Halo Reach. So on Xbox One, it's just added on to the Master Chief Collection if you already have it, but you have to buy it again for like $10. I think that's if you want the single player. I think you get the multiplayer, but if you want the single player, you have to pay $10. I'm not entirely, I could be very wrong on that. It might just be straight up $10 for everything. But on PC, you can either just buy Reach on its own for $10 or the whole Master Chief Collection for $40. Which includes 6 games, Halo Reach, Halo 1, Halo 2, Halo 2 Anniversary, Halo 3, and Halo 4, which is what I did, might as well. And on PC, you don't need Xbox Live Gold to play it, you're just buy the game and you're good to go. 343 also said they want to go into the beta version of Halo 1 starting early next year. They already are cracking away at it, so that's good to know. And also they said that Forge and Theater are not going to be available at launch, which does suck, but they are working on it and they will eventually make their way into the games. So yeah, we gotta wait a little while before we can get some cool custom games going, but those will be fun. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. Happy Halo is back and it's gonna be a good time. I think that's all I really have for gaming. I mean, it's slow these last few weeks. I don't know what else to say. Bungie's revealing the new season for Destiny on Wednesday, so that's after the podcast. But yeah, moving on to music, Currents released their new song called Poverty of Self, and they said it was going to be heavy, and yeah, it's pretty heavy. New album due out sometime early next year. I thought I heard spring. I don't know where I got that from, but spring was the first thing that came to mind, so I'm just assuming spring 2020. Yeah, I highly suggest it. Ginger's Rise Up, your vocalist, is here. Brian Wiley. I don't know if his last name's actually pronounced Wiley, but that's how I'm gonna say it. Quite possibly the best redheaded vocalist on the planet, Ed Sheeran. Eat your heart out. Yeah, that's all I gotta say on Currents. Not much. New song, listen to it. So there's this newer band called Loathe, and they just released a song called Aggressive Evolution, and it sounds like a mix between heavier Northlane and Deftones. And they are on Sharptone Records as well as Currents, so shout out to Sharptone, doing their thing. But yeah, the chorus of this song is undeniably Deftones, like you can't even argue it. And then to me, the heavier parts and the screaming kind of sounded like Northlane. And then I was looking through the comments and someone said that the vocalist sounded like Marcus Bridge. And Marcus Bridge is the vocalist of Northlane. So it works out. We have figured out what this band's sound is. I don't think all of their songs sound like this, but at least this song in particular, it's heavy Northlane. Deftones had a baby. It's this song. And this album comes out in February 7th, if I'm not mistaken. So I will keep my eyes or ears, or both. I'll keep my eyes and ears on it because I'm interested to see what this album's going to sound like. I'll put a link to it in the description along with the Currents song as well. So Slayer played their final show on November 30th and they're calling it a day. They said they're not breaking up, but they just don't want to perform live anymore, but I doubt there's going to be any more studio albums. I could be wrong on that, but I don't know. So if you don't know, Slayer is a thrash metal band from California. They're one of the big four of the thrash movement. The band was formed in 1981 by Kerry King, Jeff Hanneman, Tom Araya, and Dave Lombardo. They released 12 albums, and Jeff unfortunately passed away a few years ago, and they're just legends of the metal scene. I mean, everyone knows who Slayer is. Even people that don't listen to Slayer, don't listen to metal, know who Slayer is. And it's just one of the best band names of all time. Just Slayer. Like, come on. Very loyal fan base. I got to see them twice live, which was great. But this is the end. I know a lot of people don't believe them when they say that was the end, because a lot of bands go on their farewell tours and then they come back a few years later, but I'm pretty sure Slayer's done. Tom, the vocalist, has been wanting to retire for a few years now, so it's done. I think he was having some like back or neck issues as well, so it's time to hang it up. I think the other guys in the band will go off, maybe start a new band. But yeah, one of metal's legendary bands has come to an end. But at least they went out when they wanted to, not because they were forced to or when any more of the members died. And for all the conspiracy theorists out there, Slayer released their album titled God Hates Us All on September 11th, 2001. Next up, we have the Mayhem Festival, which was a United States festival that ran from 2008 until 2015. I went every single year except for the final year, and it's coming back next year, which is exciting because it's a fun thing to attend. That's how I have so many autographed posters, is because it was really easy to get autographs there. Bands would have times set up, and you just went to the location where it said to meet up, and they give you a free poster and they sign it. Shake their hand, say hi, all that good stuff. See a bunch of bands, listen to good music, get autographs, have a great time. I don't know what the lineup is. I do know someone that will know. There's a guy that has inside information into the music industry, and he usually leaks lineups before they're officially announced, which is why I sometimes know things. So I will keep tabs on him to see what he says. Not sure who could really headline it. I mean, Slipknot's headlined it before. Avenged Sevenfold, Slayer did the last one. I don't really want Slipknot to headline this one, though, because I want them to do their own tour next year, since they are coming back to the States to do another run. My dream lineup for that would be Dead opening, Trivium playing after them, Ghost playing after them, and Slipknot headlining. That would be an insane show, but the likelihood of that is very low. As far as bands that could be on Mayhem, I mean, it's a metal festival. There's a lot of bands since the festival went on hiatus that could fit in. You could put Currents on there. They'd fit in. Architects would be cool. Crystal Lake would be great. They have very minimal touring experience in the US, so getting on a festival run like this would be huge for them. After the Burial would be cool. I don't think they've ever been on it, and if they have, then I missed it, and I'm going to be mad at myself. I can't remember every lineup from every year. I've seen a lot of bands. Dead could fit right into that as well. I mean, there's a lot of bands that could play it, so definitely interested to see what the lineup is, if they're going to have just as many bands as usual, or if they're going to cut it down. Are they still going to do the whole autograph thing? Are they going to play as many cities as they used to? Or are they going to cut that down? There's a lot to be revealed. So, yeah, I'm going to keep tabs on that because it's a good time. So, definitely interested in the return of the Mayhem Fest, the Rockstar Energy Drink Mayhem Festival. And most of the autographs are free. Like, I think the headliner bands you kind of have to pay money for, which I've done in the past, and I'm cool with that. And really all you had to do was just buy the album, so it wasn't that big of a deal. That's what I do for Slipknot, their greatest hits album. I had to buy that, and then I met Clown and Chris and got their autograph. And then I met Joey with his other band that was on the tour. Actually, I don't think they were on the tour. Why were they even there? I don't remember, but I got his autograph. And then I actually never even got the album. Never sent it to me. Actually, speaking of Slipknot autographs, I got my We Are Not Your Kind CD, and it's autographed by every member of the band, which is obviously awesome. I now have every single member's autograph from the first album till now, except for one. I am missing Paul's autograph, but he's not alive anymore, so it's like I'm okay with it. I'm okay not having his autograph. And yeah, you could look on eBay or whatever, but you don't know if it's really authentic or if it's just people trying to make a buck off a guy that's not even alive anymore. Do I want it? Yeah, but if I never get it, a legit autograph of his, I'm okay. Like, I had Corey and Jim's autographs on a Stone Sour CD, but now that I have them on a Slipknot CD, it's even better. And also Tortilla Man, he signed it as NG for New Guy, because even though we all know his identity now, the band is still denying it. But the reason I point that out is because when they do finally acknowledge his identity, he's going to sign his real name, and he won't use the NG signature anymore. So once that happens, the NG signature will be more valuable, which will be cool. I don't plan on ever selling it, but just knowing that I have it is nice. So yeah, the album is very protected. It is in a vault. No one can see it. No one can touch it. No one can breathe on it. You have to go through my agent to even talk to me about it. It's kept very well protected. High security. I actually have a picture of it on my Twitter account next to the giant Slipknot logo made out of metal that my dad made. There's only two of them in the world. I have one. He has the other. and they're not for sale. Someone hit me up on Twitter, like, I made a post when their last album came out in 2014, and like 4 years after I posted it, someone hit me up on Twitter. It was like, can I have one? No. The only people that can have them are actual members of the band. Unless you want to pay my dad a few $1,000 to make you one, which you probably don't. No, it's not for sale. And I had been waiting a while for these autographs because the last time Slipknot released an album back in 2014, they had like a picture up for sale that you could buy with all their autographs on it. And I didn't order it because I think it was sold out. And so I promised myself, I said, next time they release an album or anything that's autographed, you are buying it no matter what. So for the past 5 years, I've been waiting, and mission accomplished. Oh, and I think Spotify is releasing their the Wrapped this week, where it shows your top 5 most played bands or artists, top 5 most played songs. So I'm looking forward to that because I have no idea what it's going to be. I have a tiny bit of an idea what it's going to be, but I'm pretty interested. So I'll talk about that next week, and then I'll probably release my top 5 albums of the year as well. So that'll all be next week, it'll be this week, but I'll talk about it on next week's episode. Okay, great. Moving on. All right, time for my weekly pick. I didn't think this was going to be a Slipknot episode, but apparently it is. Noisy, which I think is part of Vice, uploaded a video on their YouTube channel called The Therapist, and they talked to Corey Taylor of Slipknot and Stone Sour. And they talk about his upbringing, his childhood, the things he's gone through. It's some rough stuff. So, yeah. The fact that the dude's even still alive, the fact that he is humble and down to earth is crazy. Because if anyone deserves to have an ego, it's him. But he doesn't. And you don't have to go off my word about that. You can just search for it on YouTube. Search for any meet and greet. Corey Taylor meet and greet. Watch any video. Always talks to people. Actually looks engaged in what they're saying, takes goofy pictures with them. If the dude had a massive ego or he was full of himself, he wouldn't be doing that stuff. He's a good dude, so definitely check that out. Link in the description, of course. This was actually filmed, I think, a couple years ago. I've seen it before, but they just now uploaded it to YouTube for some reason. Or maybe it was on YouTube and then they removed it and re-uploaded it. I'm not really sure what happened, but it's back on YouTube. My weird story this week comes from Kentucky. So a man killed his daughter's husband, and you're probably thinking, well, why would he do that? Well, he did it because him and his daughter were going to get married. And by him and his daughter, I mean the dad and his daughter wanted to get married, and they did. And they had a certain they did the dirty, you know what I'm getting at there? That was going on. So, of course, the daughter's husband had to be removed from this situation. Now, you could have just got a divorce, but, you might as well just kill the guy, right? So, the dad and the daughter, they did get married, and the dad eventually admitted to the murder. So, he is in jail, and there's not just one daughter involved, there's actually 2. So, it's a little weird. Kentucky's out here giving Florida a run for its money, I know that for sure. Anyway, that's going to do it for this week. Thank you for listening. You can listen on iTunes, Apple, Spotify, TuneIn, Stitcher. I'm forgetting everything this is even available on. Maybe other platforms in the future. I have to look into it. And, of course, you can listen on YouTube. Links in the description of the YouTube video. And with all that said, I will talk to you guys next week. Later.